If you could hear me okay, please. Hello, hello, Jonathan Rose. Welcome to Masters in Trading Live. Let me just get a Y in the YouTube chat if you could hear me okay. The last comment I could see is Richards. I see you guys in. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, my Discord's helping me out. John, thank you very much. Awesome. We're going to start again, guys. So, guys, my name is Jonathan Rose. I've been a pro trader for nearly 30 years. Now I hop on to help regular folks like you trade like the professionals. That's why each day the market's open, I get on here and share some of my favorite setups and teach you strategies that I use to profit from them. And if you're in my members only all access, I'm going to spend some time at the end of these videos going through some real-time trade results. Again, my apologies. We had a little bit of tech issues getting us started. Everything seems okay. I'm going to get right into the slide deck. We have a lot to cover, and I want to make sure that we get a ton of value from this because I did mess up a little bit with the tech. We're all good? Loud and clear. Rogerish, thanks, buddy. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Again, sorry for the little snafu, but we're going to start here. QQQs. Very volatile, right? The QQQs, I find this incredibly interesting. Did you realize that if you look at a daily on the QQQs, just center myself, we traded right up to that 200 period moving average. I'm a big believer that indices and stocks, they don't like to stay around these big numbers. So let me pull up a pen. Does that make sense, guys? When I say these indices don't like to stay around big numbers, what I'm really talking about is this. Like, the world knows these numbers. They follow these numbers. So when I say markets don't like to stay around big numbers, what I mean is it needs some oomph to get through. We're not just going to trade straight up and plow through the 200 period moving average. It's not going to happen. Look historically how these levels have behaved on a chart. So the QQQ, it trades right up to that key resistance. Very cool. We pull up a live chart as well, just in case the market moved. And let's see how it's behaving around that crucial level. So weird when you have a little audio issues, you feel so helpless. So thank you for hanging out with me, and Telvin, thanks for hopping in. So what do we have right here, right? We traded right up to that key level, and now we're trading off. But now, what's the next level to watch? We have this key level. Here's another one. We talk about the expected move, right? The QQQs traded right up to their expected move. Now, do you guys know why the market will pull back at these big expected move levels? Do you guys know why? This is something we talk about all the time. Expected move, pen's acting a little weird, but the market gets to these and then bounces. Maybe it gets to them and then falls off. Why does that happen? Is that random? It's not random, I'll tell you that. This pen stinks. It's because of the dynamic of the market. It's because option traders need to hedge at these crucial levels. So when the QQQs trade right up to those levels, again, the market's not going to just pound through. It needs a reason. It needs a catalyst. So the expected move and the 200 period moving average loading up together, that's some pretty significant resistance. Nathan, thanks for joining, buddy. But now I want to come back to that. Where do we go on the downside, right? Because the Qs, they bounce right up to the 200 period moving average. It bounced right up to its expected move. But now, where is it going to go down to? And for that, I want to bring you, I'm going to put it on 5 years. I want data. I want to look at monthly data. Okay. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I don't want this based upon on percentage, show price as a percentage. I don't need that. Okay. And then I don't like all this stuff to the right here. So I'm just going to clean that up a little bit more. But this is the key line in the sand. Like, this number to me is so clear as day as the main pivot point for this market. And this is what it is. We're in May, right? May monthly is right here. The low of May is 480.74. Okay? 480.74. Guys, I would write that number down. I would keep it on your desk. So 484 is the low of May. The high of April, guys, is 479.50. So if I take these off, and I want to go 480, say. 480 in the QQQ. This is a monster level. And when we talk about that, if the QQQs get down there and hold, if they bounce there, volatility will go down and the market will go higher. If we can't hold that 480 number, if we trade to 479, 478, trade up to 479, trade down to 476, trade up to 478, trade down to 475, this market's going to get its butt whooped, like dangerous, crush. So 480 is what I want you to watch. Again, let's pull up the live market. Let's see exactly where we are. Let's look shorter term so we can see just like the behavior. 480. I want to open it up for questions, guys. Does that make sense? Does that line make sense? Why we got that line, where we got that line? I want you to understand that line. I want you to be confident in that line. So let me ask you guys, does that line in the sand at 480 make sense? And if it doesn't, let's drill into it because I want you to watch that number. Yes, yes? Does gold have a line in the sand? Gold's expensive to silver. Long silver. Short gold, long silver. That's the play. That's what we're trading. 480 is interesting. I put it on a shorter term time frame, guys, and you can really see it. You can see that gap. And that gap is right here. Fed week, right? Fed week could take us under, and then this 480 is going to be really, really strong resistance. So until Fed, I'm willing to bet that the Qs stay between 480 and 488. I think we're going to need a catalyst to bust out of that area, and I wouldn't be surprised if we trade down to 480, if we trade up to 483, and then we trade down to 470. That's what I think is going to happen, and I wouldn't be surprised too if we go after this 462 throughout the week. Very clear to me what's going on here. We have two reasons for resistance at 488. We have major support at 480. We have major announcements this week. Wait, and I think that's what's going to happen throughout the week. 480 to 488. I think 480 is going to lose. I think we're going to trade down to 470 and then 462.02. That's my stepping out on a limb prediction. Let's go to the next chart. Because the other way that we're looking to get some feel or some understanding of where the market's going is by looking at divergences. Divergence. I almost got -1 for spelling. So divergence. Look at this here. You see this whole behavior that I'm going to circle? That's the Qs, the NASDAQ, small caps and mid caps, right? We have SPY, and then we have the Russell. I'm a big believer that everything's moving together. Everything's moving together. Once in a while, the NASDAQ will outperform. When it does, it comes back. But everything is moving together. Once in a while, the NASDAQ will really outperform. But when things turn bearish, just like the NASDAQ outperforms on the downside, the NASDAQ will get crushed faster on the low side. Well, look what's happening again. Small caps are already failing. Small caps are not sure they're going to take part in this rally party. QQQ is nice and strong. Again, you're seeing that big divergence. I think what we know is going to happen is when the market rallies, the QQQ technology outperforms. When the market breaks, technology is going to underperform. We are living in a NASDAQ world right now. Follow the NASDAQ to see what the others are going to do. But right now, NASDAQ is definitely getting over its skis with the small caps not moving at all. NASDAQ's expensive. I think NASDAQ trades off. And to confirm that, if we look at our volatility indices, I'm going to pull up here and then I'll pull up the actual chart. When we look at the VIX, and the VIX, many people think of the VIX is the fear index. When we look at the VIX, we want to look at the smaller parts of the VIX, like the VIX 9D. The VIX 9D is literally the first 9 days of the VIX is 30 days. The VIX 9D, 2253, up 6%. VVIX, down from 187, 100, trade last. So market might be able to rally. VIX 1D has come really down 13. QQQ's 487. Resistance on the upside. Support on the downside. I think we're going to need some catalyst to bust through these key levels. That's what I got for you guys. Any questions, guys, before I hop off? Oh, 1 second. Don't hop off. Please, don't hop off. I've got more to say. I got to talk about oil. Saul, thank you for saying smash that like button. But I want to talk about oil. Before I talk about oil, if you would do me the biggest favor and give a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, we greatly appreciate it. Oil, 100, 200 period moving average, keeping things nice and simple, right? When we were under 2021, markets don't like to stay around big numbers, okay? The 200 period moving is a big number. We go away from it, and then look how the market gets sucked to it and trades by it. This is going to be resistance, and there's some room on the downside now that oil has fallen below that 100 and 200 period moving average. We know the President Trump is trying to get oil down. So a little breakout here on the downside of oil. I wouldn't be surprised if oil slides lower and lower. Yeah, Eric, my pleasure. Thank you guys for joining. For everybody in our All Access, those are all our paid members. You guys don't go anywhere. I have a really cool trade. But before I tell you the trade, I'll tell you the ticker. Also, we'll come back to you. A ticker, we're going to look at Pinterest. Look at this Pinterest chart here. So Pinterest, we don't get buy signals very much, but when we do, they come in bunches. We're going to talk about Pinterest. Pinterest is coming into its earnings, and we're going to talk about how to play Pinterest into our earnings, just so everybody knows we are not just buying the stock. That's why I felt comfortable sharing the stock with you. We are not just buying the stock. And then for anybody else, if you want to join our advanced notice community, /advance notice deal. Thank you guys all for watching. Chapman, this is, a little proprietary indicator that we use in our all access community. Okay. Everybody in all access, you guys sit tight. We'll be right back. Once again, sorry for little tech issues getting going.